Are you ready for a 24-day challenge? Hi, Vicky Kelty here. And that is exactly what I decided to do in December. So, today's episode, I'm going to walk you through that. And in a future episode, when I've finished my own challenge, I will dig a little deeper into what was involved in my challenge. But today we're going to go through a bit of the mindset and the nuts and bolts so that you can do your own English challenge. Let's dive in. So, one of the things that I find really motivating is to share with other people that I'm doing a challenge. And another thing that I find really motivating is to have a way to track my challenge. And when I do like workout challenges, I will make a chart and put it up in the kitchen, and then I'll put little stickers on it, or I'll cross the days off as I get them done. For the one that I did in December, this was really, really easy to track because I was just using an advent calendar. So every day when I completed it, I had a little piece of chocolate. And I do think that it's important to not let the fact that other people know that you're doing a challenge cause you to keep doing the challenge, even when you're no longer getting out of it what you want to get out of it. So I had a little pep talk with myself and said, Vicky, if you are not enjoying this challenge anymore, you can stop at any time. No shame, no judgment. You can shift the challenge. You can, and I did make some changes with it along the way, um, which I will not get into right now. And you'll see why at the end of this episode, why I'm kind of like leaving things so open. But yeah, so I just wanted to basically to give myself permission to stop if I wanted to change things if I wanted to, just to be really open to being okay with it changing as it needed to change, if it needed to change. And I think that just by having acknowledged that before I started, it allowed me to show up in a different way. And it didn't become like tedious or difficult. Uh, Of course, there were some days where I was like, okay, I guess I'll do this. But I had chosen something that was quite easy for me to show up for every day. And the little chocolate prize was just icing on the cake, so to speak. But yeah, so I just want you to make sure that one of your rules for yourself should be that you can have the freedom to stop, change, maneuver things as needed. And one of the ways that I actually prepared for that beforehand was I said, okay, in theory, these 24-day advent calendars, you open a little it's mine is made of cardboard. So you open the little cardboard window. I should have brought it in here. Hold on, let me go grab it. So if you're watching the video version of this episode, you'll get to see this little advent calendar that I have. A nice red advent calendar that says Merry Christmas, has a little picture of Santa Claus, and it has all the little windows. So you can see like this is 19. So you just pull back the little paper and inside would be a piece of chocolate, which there wasn't one behind that window because day 19 has already passed. I did it and I ate my chocolate. So, as I was saying, the idea is that you have one chocolate for each day. So, in theory, you're doing it daily. I don't really like to box myself in to daily type things. Um, and so, knowing that, I gave myself the option or rather, I gave myself some ideas for what I could do on the off chance that I didn't feel like doing the challenge that I had prepared for that day. Or if I didn't feel well, if I missed a day because I was tired, low on energy, too busy, any sort of reason that might come up, because there are tons of reasons that could potentially mean that you don't show up one day. So I said, well, if I don't show up one day, I can do it the next day. So maybe I'll do two the next day, or I'll make it up over the weekend because I tend to have more time on the weekend. So I just kind of planned in advance for potential situations that could come up. And honestly, they haven't come up. Usually I get it done in the morning and then I go on and go about my day. Sometimes if I don't get it done in the morning, then I shift it to the evening, but I've got them all done thus far every day. So I was actually really excited about that. And this is why these challenges tend to be a set little box of 24 days and not 90 days. Because once you get over those first like 5, 15, 24, it can start to wear on you and you're like, "Okay, this is getting a little monotonous. We need to change it up." So, start with a 24-day challenge, and honestly, like, the beginning of the year is a really great time to just get back into the swing of things after taking a break, which some of us do, some of us don't, but some of us do. Um, between December and January. So that's why I'm throwing this episode at you in case that's something that might interest you. And now here's the part where I just invite you to think about what could you focus on for 24 days? What would you be interested in spending time with in English for 24 days? Little by little each day, maybe a couple minutes, maybe a longer length of time. You are in control of everything. And this is what I was saying at the beginning, that I'm not telling you right now what I did for my 24 days because I actually don't want to influence your decision. I want you to think about what is calling you. When you think about doing something in English 24 days, are you feeling the urge to do something fun with English? Are you thinking about something that kind of scares you, that makes you feel a little nervous to do in English? And that sounds tempting to try for 24 days? Or maybe you're thinking about something that's really difficult for you in English and you're like, "Oh, I just want to put 24 days of hard work into this." Or maybe you're thinking about something that's super duper easy and you're like, "Okay, I could do this for 24 days in a heartbeat." And that's the thing that you want to do. There is no wrong answer, but I'm hoping that just sitting with it and thinking about what do I want to spend more time with in English will get the cogs working inside your brain and you'll think of something that you would like to challenge yourself to spend. And maybe not 24 days, maybe you'll do 5 days, maybe you'll do 11 days. It doesn't matter. The number is, I was going to say lo de menos, it's the least important. And one thing that I would just add is if you were thinking about doing anything related to solo speaking, like I've mentioned in other podcast episodes, then I actually have a free mini course available, which I don't think I have mentioned. So I would be remiss if I didn't add that in and say you can definitely head over to my website or go to the show notes. And that's vickykelty.com, by the way, and take a look at that if that would be something that might help you with showing up for your 24-day challenge in case speaking was what was calling you. And The last thing that I'll say is to just remember that this is an experiment and it's totally okay to fail. And I don't really like the word fail, but because the world has just given it such a negative connotation, and I that's why I don't like to use the word fail. But it doesn't have to have this like extra meaning. It just means that the thing you were doing didn't work out how you had intended it to work out. But we can always learn from these little experiments that we're doing with our English learning. So, as I obviously will be doing with the Spanish and French practice that I did for my 24-day challenge. I will let you know in the upcoming episodes whether it was a success or a big fat fail with my 24-day challenge. And even if it was a fail, I'm gonna have tons and tons of little nuggets of wisdom to throw at you and share. So we're all gonna learn together from this experience. And I hope that you will share with me what it is that you feel inspired to do for your own challenge. And I await that email. So send it to me over at hola@vickykelty.com and tell me what you're going to challenge yourself with. All right, that's all from me. Happy learning.